Good evening and welcome to the stream this evening, and I have just completely forgotten that I need some water, so I shall be back in a moment. And I'm sorry about that, but I need some water with which I can wipe down the glass once I'm engraving it, because I don't want glass dust all over the place. Now then, I'm only partially set up here. I've been searching for a photograph, a reference photograph that I knew I had. I just didn't know where it was, or indeed which photograph it was, which is highly irritating when you know you've got something somewhere. You just can't find where that somewhere is, which is the problem I was having. So rearranging things. I've also spent some time this evening looking for an adapter, particular adapter, for this drill to take a medium-sized drill shank. Unfortunately, can't find it, which is another irritating thing, which means I'm going to have to buy a new one. They're not fantastically cheap. They're not expensive, but they're not fantastically cheap. Now then, is this powered? Yes, it is. So, okay, so I'm going to work on this side. So let's just give it a clean down, and this is a coffee jar, so we've got a nice scene on that side. I'm going to do a Greek table and chairs on this side. I've got a bit of the label left. Let's just clean that off. So this is just a sharp blade. Some of that will wipe off as well in a moment, but I'll put some water on there. So I'm going to do this again like I did last night. Freehand. And last night I made it up from scratch. Tonight I've got a reference picture to work from. Which would I do better if I displayed on screen so I could actually see it. Yeah, there we go. So I'll just have a little bit of water on that. Okay, and I've got a diamond ball tip in here. Let's turn up. Well, it's turned up. Turn it on. Spin it up. Okay, so I kind of could do with drawing this out first, but I'm not going to. What I am going to do though is change glasses. I'm looking at that thinking I can't quite see what I'm looking at. And that is because I've got the wrong glasses on. I'm going to have to get myself a head-mounted magnifier. I know it's going to look silly on stream, but at least I'll be able to see better what I'm doing, because it'll be a close-up view looking from a distance. Right. Spin this up again. So, essentially, don't have a second chance with this. What am I doing? See what I'm doing is I'm making a mess because that's wrong. It's a good job I'm going to shade the top of this table. Alright, I won't turn it that way then. So I'm kind of lightly outlining. Let's since I can't find my adapter, I can't put the rubber wheel in, so I can't erase this. So this is when I mark it, it's permanent. Okay. Make that a bit wider, I think. It might need a little bit of adjusting, but we'll fix that as we go along. Let's put a bit more water just around on the top there and switch out this bit for a different one. This is more of a grinding bit, so there we go. And this one is darker, but the whole top is fairly light. Okay. I'm just going for quite a light colour on the top. trick is to get an even texture all the way across here. So I don't get patches of lighter and darker. Now with any medium that can sometimes be a challenge unless you're using what's called a capped colour. Now with engraving you don't have such a thing. With paints you do, but until I'm concentrating and my tongue is starting to come out the side of my mouth. Now that line I did earlier is going to start to be a problem here because I can't erase it. I could make it vanish if I could use the eraser, which I can't. Okay, let's have a look at that. Okay, I probably want a bit more definition on that, so I'll make it a little bit whiter. So this is just effectively scratching the glass. Despite the sound, I'm scratching it quite lightly, and it's creating a frosted glass effect, which is why it's turning white, because it scatters the glass. The scratches scatter the light as it hits the glass. And you can actually make them vanish if you polish the glass. Now that'll be using quite an abrasive polish in this particular case, but now the trick here is to stop right at the edge. It takes a bit of time to develop that skill. I'm just looking to get an even tone across the surface there. And I want to distinguish this edge as well. Creams, hello, good evening, welcome to the studio. How are you doing? I haven't seen you for a while. This edge down here, I want to reinforce this edge. Okay, that's the problem with glass engraving, is the noise it makes. Is it overloading it as well? It probably is, isn't it? Yeah, it's certainly loud. I don't know. Of course, it is the loudest sound around when I'm doing it. So I shall tip it like that. It's an end fire mic, so that should help a little bit, but not a great deal, I'm afraid. About all I can do is mute the microphone when I'm doing the doing this. It might help if I hold it. Yeah, it's with it not being on the if I don't rest it on the desk, then I would previously have used a like a mat, a bean bag to put this on, but I have no idea where it's gone. And that would have deadened the sound quite a bit. Twitch dying again. Ah dear. Okay. Alright. I'm not doing too bad, thank you. I'm trying to not concentrate on something important that's happening tomorrow. Which I don't want to think about. So I am doing some engraving, doing something different. But apart from that, I'm okay. And how are you doing, Creams? I kind of like to do some more shading on there, but I'm just not set up to do it properly. Let me switch bits. Go back to a diamond tip, which I'm using to draw with. I'm using a reference photograph as well, so. It's going to go to about there. So this is almost a you get one chance to do it art form. How's the job situation going? I'm hoping to find out if I have secured a job tomorrow. I'm hoping I have, but I don't know. Otherwise I'm out of a job. You're moving house on Monday. That sounds really good. I hope to move house around about August. And you've lost a stone. Congratulations on that. That's an amazingly well done. No, that sounds bad. That's an amazing amount of weight to lose, and congratulations on doing it. I'm not amazed that you would do it, because I think you would quite easily. From the point of view of I think you have. I'm digging a ditch here. No, I think you've done really well, and I'll stop at that point. I'm digging. Right. Just inside from that edge. Thank you very much for that. I hope I am successful. I really do. Here's a fun fact for you, Creams. This drill bit I'm using here is actually a dental drill. So this is the same sort of thing that a dentist uses on your teeth. Does that make you not want to watch anymore now? At least when you're engraving glass you don't get that smell. You get it when you do eggs, but not when you do glass. Oh, I don't know. Every time I go to the dentist I keep meaning to ask, well, I know what they do with them. I was going to say I keep meaning to ask them what they do with all their bits, because but they throw them away when they're used because they're contaminated. So if they put them through an autoclave, and then when they get too bad they throw them away, or some dentists just throw them away anyway. So they're not cheap, believe it or not. Right. Also quite hard to get here in the UK because I'm not a dentist. Is it a Nescafe Gold? It is indeed. Well done. It's likewise. That is precisely what it is. Minus the labels, of course. I finished a jar off yesterday, and it's about a year since I did any engraving at all, glass engraving. So it just happened to be convenient. I thought, well, I might as well practice on it. It's a free jar. So I did last night. I did this particular scene here. I just decided I'd do a palm tree, and then I thought, well, a palm tree is going to be on the beach, and then I thought, well, let's make it sunset. So that's what I did. And then I thought, well, I might as well do something on the other sides. On one side I'm going to write coffee. So I've got a sunset there, so I thought I'd do a Greek table and possibly chair here. You know, like holiday sort of theme, if you like. Sit back, cup of coffee type of thing. Haven't decided what to do on the third side yet. Thank you very much. So this has been done all freehand as well. No image behind to trace from. I do have a reference image I'm looking at to one side, just to help me get this sort of half right, but other than that, this is being done completely freehand, and it's a bit hard to get you a good view, I'm afraid. Lighting is really a bit awkward. Okay, so that's going to be more or less, but not quite the same angle as the top, so across there. Yeah. Okay, and I'll switch out for a different bit for that. and lift it off the table so you can actually hear. Yeah, I thought I'd missed a bit down the middle of that. I'm still missing a bit down the middle. No, that's not too bad. I'm kind of annoyed I can't find my I can't find an adapter, because I've got well, this is a rubber polishing wheel, and if I use this I can actually shade things, because you can polish out some of the scratches with a wheel, and I'd actually be able to shade it a little bit better. As it stands at the moment, I can do very little in the way of shading. I can do a bit, but not much. Aldel H, hello, good evening and welcome to the studio this evening, and how are you? Clary Bug as well, good evening. Yes, it's a coffee jar, but unlike Silk likewise, sorry, S likewise, apologise, can you tell what type of coffee jar it is? And I'm drinking coffee. And I'm doing a Greek coffee table. Oh, the table in actually, where's this one in? This picture was taken. Where was this picture taken? I'm using a reference picture, Mykonos. So yes, so this is a picture of a table in a Greek cafe, where one would of course sit down and drink Greek coffee. So it's coffee themed all the way through tonight. Indeed, you want to say that, and if you did actually say it, you'd be right, along with us likewise. Was it good coffee? Yeah, I do. I like this coffee. It's not too strong, and it's not too weak. And this is from a machine in our local supermarket, Waitrose. They give you free, or they give us free coffee. And I like latte coffee from a machine like that. Or, yeah, made freshly if you like. Is that bad? You don't even drink coffee? Well, there's two reasons why. It's a distinctive shape. Is this bottle of course, and the other one, of course, Gold blended a lot of adverts, story adverts, you know, with couples and getting together and things like that. So a lot of people know the blend and the shape. Yeah, I drink. I don't drink a lot, but I don't drink a little either. So, no, I don't have sugar. I used to have sugar about 40 years ago, and I stopped taking sugar in tea because I always could drink tea without sugar. And then one day I just decided that was it. I wasn't going to have sugar in coffee either. And up until then, I couldn't drink coffee without sugar. It was too bitter. But one day I just decided that was it. I wasn't going to have it anymore, and I didn't. I never had sugar in my coffee since, and now if I have come across any sugar in coffee, it's too sweet. You don't have TV. That doesn't mean you didn't have TV. I mean, I don't watch TV now, but I still see enough adverts on things like YouTube. Coffee with sugar. Well, yeah. It was nice at the time. It's like I can't drink coffee without. Well, no, that's not strictly true. I can drink coffee without milk, but I don't like drinking coffee without milk. But I don't drink tea without milk. In fact, tea-wise, can't always tell the difference. You've not had TV for around 6 years. Yeah, well, I kind of don't really know. Well, we don't really watch it that often these days. I certainly don't watch television at all. Having said which, Doctor Who I'd watch, but that's about it. Aldel H, it wouldn't surprise me if you put salt in your coffee, would you? Would it? Do you do that? 3 sugars and milk. I never went to 3 sugars. 2. I used to have 2. And I in tea, and then I cut it down to 1, and then stopped altogether. And that was a long time then before I stopped with the coffee. But cold tea. Oh, okay. I like iced tea, but that's really sweet because you do put a lot of sugar in iced tea. You're a TV. It's like if you're a university student, likewise, you might like to check whether if a student lives at home when they're not at university, I think it might be possible for them. And it might be only if they live in halls of residence, though. TV license. If your parents had a TV license, then you might be able to. There used to be something around there, but there's not that much interesting on TV to watch. You don't drink tea? Oh, Lady Zara doesn't drink. Well, I was about to say she doesn't drink tea or coffee. She does drink coffee from the supermarket. When they give us it free. But otherwise, she doesn't drink hot drinks at all. And there again, I used to work with a guy who didn't have tea in his tea and didn't have coffee in his coffee. So he just had hot water. You're redoing your streaming room. I saw you streaming this afternoon. I didn't have time to watch though. Decorating a new flooring, the lot. At this moment in time, a new studio is being built for me, so I'm gonna beat you. I'm not gonna just be decorating with a new floor. I'm gonna have new walls, new ceiling, new windows, new doors, new everything at the moment, which then has to be decorated, and new lights and everything else. You don't have room for a TV either, though. Oh, I'm sure that's not the case. Likewise, you've got a monitor in front of you. You could put TV card in your PC, or you could swap the monitor out for a TV and plug your PC into it. Oh well, that's assuming you're not using a laptop at the moment or a tablet. But a whole new room in a new house. Yeah, a big studio. Well, big compared with the space I've got at the moment, which you are seeing most of, and I ought to do some more of this, but you're seeing most of my studio space at the moment. But yeah, I'm going to have something like a 15-foot square room, at least one anyway, and possibly another one. Right, I want to switch drill bits again. It's a laptop. Well, you can still get TV plug-in units for laptops, so you could always watch TV on a laptop. There's always room for a computer monitor, and therefore there's always room for a TV. But I agree with you. There's not. Well, I don't. I was about to say there's not a lot to watch on TV. I could watch lots of things on TV. I don't like reality shows like Big Brother, but I like reality shows that show people doing their jobs, like the police or the customs or whatever, just that sort of thing. And I'm trying to think, on Sky TV in the UK, there's at least one channel that shows a lot of those, which I'd watch if I was kind of forced to sit down and watch television. That's probably what I'd watch, but. there's enough going on in creative to not need to watch television at all. Now I have to be careful. I can't erase. No erase with this because, as I say, I'm missing my adapter. So it's going to come into about there, at about that point there. Yeah, that's fairly symmetric. Yeah, it'll do. Yeah. Oh, I got to. The first series of Big Brother was okay, and I mean one of the nice things about the first series is that people learning how to do things like sculpt and things like that, and that was interesting. But then it got silly, and I stopped watching it. And the X Factor is, yeah, not interested in that one at all. I mean, the first series again might have been okay, but it's the same every time, and they're just there just to make fun of people, and I don't find that particularly interesting. Although I do find it interesting how people think they're good at things when they don't appear to be as good as they think they are. I'm being a little bit careful doing this because I'm not using an extractor fan, which I don't know if you see puffs of stuff coming off, but that's glass dust. So I'm keeping it, the surface is slightly moist, which helps the glass dust sort of stick to the surface rather than just go into the air. I don't particularly want glass dust blowing out. So I'm also not going particularly heavy with the drill bits here because I don't want to breathe the stuff. What is Big Brother about? That's about as far as it goes. Yeah, Alder you get a group of people living in the same house, monitored by television cameras 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for about 3 months. And they're on camera everywhere. There is nowhere hidden at all. They're bored because there's nothing to do. They're not allowed any outside contact at all. And then the producers give them either silly tasks to do or things that they will cause conflict, shall we say, so that there's arguments and things like that. Some people like watching that sort of thing. Yeah. Provoked in some ways. I'm sure they do it on. Well, I know they do it on purpose. They could do things to diffuse it, and they don't. Okay, so now I go across there. Okay, I'll switch that out and I'll do this with a grinding bit. Yeah, sort of. I suppose it's a desert island type thing. You know, everybody's locked on, you know, in a desert island. That's kind of how they be. But there's no, yeah, it seems like there's no space for them to actually, you know, if you get annoyed with somebody, you can walk out and go somewhere else. Well, they kind of can't. Well, they could, but then they don't win. So, and why is it called Big Brother? 1984. I think it is. The film by, is it George Orwell, where Big Brother watches over everybody, seeing, yeah, watches. They're on camera, and I've never actually seen the film, but it's a reference to that. And I'm not sure it's meant to make sense, to be honest, Aldel H. I think the whole point of it is it doesn't. I think, yeah, I think the intellectual thing about it is if you know where the term Big Brother comes from, then you're way ahead of some of the contestants. I think the one of the things it does show is just how far people are prepared to go to try and win 100. I think it's £100,000 or something like that. Some of the things that they'll do to try and win. You know that. Either silly things or you know, purposely try and disrupt people and things like that. So now then, this is going to be about there, and basically, okay, I'm slightly out, but so what? Too bad. So I'm going to be from about there. Oh yeah, they don't get physical because if they do, they kick them out. But that's about the only thing that. Yeah, that's the idea. You know, it seems to be the idea of it is to get people to basically fight with each other. Yeah, to have arguments and disagreements and things like that. Yeah, but in environments like that, it's amazing what becomes important to you when you've got, you know, nothing else. around. In some ways, it's they're imprisoned as well, kind of like, you know, so they kind of react a little bit like they were in prison, you know, in a prison, and Big Brother's the warder as well, so. But all those reality programs are kind of based on the same premise. The other one, what's it called? I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here in the Jungle. That's kind of a similar idea as well. Except they're in a jungle rather than in a house. Alexandra 112502. Hello, do you remember me? I recall that you've been in the channel before, yes. Okay, LLH, have a good night. Okay. Possibly LLH, I don't know, I don't watch it. Okay. I love the way the... I'm not doing too bad, thank you, Alexandra. And how are you doing? So I'm just looking at this in the view from the camera, and I'm kind of surprised that that looks better. It looks better on the camera than it does in person. Oh, it's a reflection. It kind of looks 3D on here, which is what I was after. I mean, that's the whole idea of it. It's meant to look 3D, but it looks better on the camera than it does here in person. Yes, thank you, S. Likewise. I keep wanting to call you Silkwise. My brain keeps wanting to switch the I and the L. I was trying to decide now whether or not to put a chair in there, and I'm probably not going to bother. We've had a reasonably decent day to here. It's been quite warm, cool but warm, sunny, so it's been not too bad a day. I hope you feel better soon. Let's put some feet on this, and then I'm going to put some cobblestone around it, and I might leave it at that. Sam likewise. Okay. Yeah, hard to pronounce Polish name. In that case, I will accept it's hard to pronounce. No, okay. I do like to try and use people's names as they are. That is just for some reason I keep wanting to say Silk. And I don't actually know why. But oh, I see. S. Yeah, whilst I said S likewise, that's wrong, isn't it? Yeah, it's a single name. Or is it Sam and then a name? Oh, well, at least it's not 2 months, Alexandra. That's the way to look at it. So it could always have been longer, so it's got to get better soon. Yeah, let me put some feet on here. just grounded a little bit better. The out carving's not too bad, Alexandra. I'll show you. I've not been doing it for a while. I stopped because I too was not feeling great work situation, and I really didn't feel like having sharp chisels around the place. Well, using sharp chisels, to be honest. I was feeling really sort of tired and everything else. That's as far as it is at the moment. I will get back to it, but I started doing some of the jewellery stuff for a while. I find that really relaxing, and there's no sharp edges and blades involved, so being a little bit careless means I'm not going to damage myself. So I put the carving to one side, but that's its current state. It's nowhere near finished, but we will get back to it in a little while. Okay. I kind of want to say Lyzuski, but I think that's probably wrong, Sam. But so I may I may have to stick to the purely English S likewise, because that I can say. No, there you go. I have no idea. But I shall Lizevsky. Okay, the Lizevsky. The W is as an F type of sound. It's interesting. The W gets a lot of different sounds. German, of course, yeah, German, of course, makes it a V, and I think in Danish it has a different sound as well. And of course, over here, English-wise, that would be a U, as in EW, U. Language is a funny stuff, isn't it? Let me put this away. But I will get back to doing that carving. But I've never done engraving on stream before, and it's a year since I last did any for myself. So I had the tool out because I was cleaning up some beads, some flashing on beads, and I was looking at it, and I thought I really feel like doing some engraving. And this coffee jar just happened to come empty at the time yesterday, so the two just came together, and I did that last night, and just having a go at something else today. Yeah, I will get around to finish it, Alexandra. Just not at the moment. I am hoping for some good news tomorrow, so maybe later this week. I mean, I think now I'm doing this engraving, I'll probably finish this jar, which is I don't know what I'm going to do on this side, but on this side I'm going to write coffee, probably diagonally across here. C-O-F-F-E-E, two E's, just for the fun of it. But do something else on this side, something else that's kind of, you know, holidays, coffee, sat, you know, on the chair, looking out. I don't know, something like that. So let's switch bits again. Let me do something that sort of like sort of cobblestones or something just underneath here. Yep. I'm using a foot pedal to control the drill here. It's a variable speed. The more I press, the faster it goes, up to a limit that's set on the controller. I also have underneath my desk a footrest. I was just pressing down there thinking this drill is not starting up until I realised I was pressing down my footrest, and of course that doesn't have any control over the drill at all. Yes. I kind of sort of experimenting with logos for as a combined Z and A together, so I could do. An interesting thought, or I can just sort of put it across the bottom, you know, write coffee and then Z Zargonat across the bottom, for example. Oh, yes, likewise, that's interesting. I had a friend of mine that could speak Danish, and they were once in a train carriage, and they're English, by the way. There was in a train carriage with a couple from that were there was a couple of people also in the train carriage with them that were speaking Danish, and they were making really disparaging remarks about you know, the people on the train and things like that. And of course, my friend understood what they were saying. And as they got off the train, they turned around and basically said in perfect Danish, "You want to be careful about who else knows the language you're speaking in," and described their faces as somewhat astonished as they just walked off the train and left them there with open jaws, apparently, because they'd realised that somebody had actually understood what they were talking about. It was quite funny. They told the story better than I do. Right. And I still won't get very far pressing down the footrest. I think that might be good enough. Let's just reinforce some of the outline a little bit around the feet, just because I've gone over with the other drill. In actual fact, let's speed that up a little bit for this. These dental bits work a heck of a lot better at high speed than they do at low speed. Yeah. Oh dear. I find that sort of thing funny. How people assume that if they're speaking a different language to the host country, that they can't be understood. I was thinking about putting a chair with this, but I actually don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'm going to just leave it as a table on its own, just on that. I think I need a stone down here. Put a couple of stones down there. Can I just... That looks okay. Yeah, let's put a couple of stones just down here. Turn that down because this is a bigger drill bit. I don't want to spin it that fast. I think that will do. Let's just give this a bit of a little bit of a polish. Get rid of the finger marks from that side anyway. There's a slight scratch on there that I'll need to deal with once I can erase, but there we go. I think that will do. You can just see that slight scratch just there. Once I can spin this particular, this is is basically eraser. No, I need to polish that. What you can do is you can use a hard rubber. If you spin it in the drill at reasonably high speed, it actually polishes away the scratches, and you can make them disappear basically. Can't do it by hand. It's just you just need a lot of friction, and they will then vanish. But so we have the beach. And after sunset, you go and have a coffee at in a Greek cafe at a table. Quite enjoyed doing that. It's got a little bit of shading in there, not as much as I'd like, but a little bit, enough to help with the 3D effect. And I don't know what to do on this side for tomorrow, but tomorrow I'll try and stream tomorrow. But I do know we'll put coffee across the front there, so worst case is I can write coffee tomorrow or on the next stream and then think about something to put down this side. But again, something sort of holiday coffee-ish. I could put a giant coffee bean, but I don't think that suits really very much. I could just put I could go Inception wise and put a coffee jar, but that doesn't seem like a good idea. I don't know, I'll have to have a think about what I can put there. But that's it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. It's been fun having you around. Nice to see you all again. It's great having you back. Disney's janitor, thank you very much. Unfortunately, Disney's janitor, you've just missed me finishing that side, so I'm finishing the stream for tonight, but I hope to be back tomorrow night from about 8 PM UK time, 2000 hours UTC or GMT. if you follow me on either here on Twitch or on Twitter, and let Twitch notify you, you'll get either a tweet or a message from Twitch when I go live. Twitter is also useful to follow me on, because if I'm not going to go live, I usually try and put a message out to say that I'm not going there, so you don't have to come around looking. But obviously that's up to you. I'm going to encourage you, of course, since it's my shop, to check out the shop as it's labelled there, Etsy, zaragonart.etsy.com. There's jewellery items in there like that. Oops, camera's reversed. Like that one there. That's a really interesting and intricate design. And some sets there, so if you're interested at all in Disney's janitor, thank you very much. It wasn't an instruction, it's obviously up to you, but thank you very much for the follow. Yes, so if you are into jewellery or would like to buy presents for people who are into jewellery, there's some nice chain work there, and a rather nice discount at the moment, just because I'm feeling generous. But apart from that, thank you all. Hope to see you again tomorrow. I will try and tomorrow. If I'm not, I'll let you know on Twitter. But where we'll do another side. If I can think of something to do on one side, we'll do that. Otherwise, I'll write coffee and possibly Zaragonart across the bottom. And then see how we go from there. So again, from the White Rose County of West Yorkshire in the UK, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye for now.